Those of you that are wondering, why are we spending time on social media? And some people have said in the past, oh, I love the bits on social media, the social media aspects of the program. This isn't a social media program. This is a program about business growth. I'm sharing with you the strategies that are working. And I was introduced to this little video last week, actually, and I wanted to include it in the presentation because this gives you an interesting walkthrough about the changing nature of the world that we live in. Some of you will be glad to know we're going to move into the space that's a little bit lower tech and offline. We're going to go into the area of guerrilla marketing. Now, guerrilla comes from the Spanish word small war, which means how can we create a disproportionately large impact in our local marketplace for a relatively low cost? How do we get a big bang for a buck? Now, there are several types of sort of guerrilla marketing ideas, and I'm going to share with you examples from each of these. The first is a flash mob. These are things that will appear, on Birmingham New Street Station, for example, or a shopping centre, a beach. They grab some attention, but what they often miss is a call to action, is the next steps, the so what piece. But I will show you an example of a very good flash mob video that actually went viral, but it had a very clear call to action. Street marketing. This is on the street, in and around your business. What is it you can do to increase footfall, to get more people coming into your business? So as you're opening up your coffee shop on next to New Street Station, some of the ideas around street marketing you can learn. Who here has come across the fish videos? Yeah, a few people. For those of you that maybe had a background in corporate, you'd have come across that. Just to tell you a bit of the story about fish, these are a bunch of guys that work in Pike's Place Fish Market in Seattle. They're 2 o'clock in the morning, they're down at the trawlers on the docks, pulling in the catch to ready to set up the stall. And they've got a fish stall in the middle of a fish market with everybody else selling fish. So how on earth do they make themselves stand out? So they started to play around and have some fun one day. So if I'm on the stall and a customer comes to me here and say, I'd like 4 pounds of cod, please, and the cod's over the other side, I could shout to my colleague and say, 4 pounds of cod. And they'd throw the cod over to me and I'd catch the cod and wrap it and serve it up. And then they'd start to get the customers involved and say, hey, you come on and catch the cod. And all of a sudden there's this flying fish and scaly flying fish. And of course the customer couldn't fly and he went scooting off across the floor. But it became a laugh, a show, and engaging, bantering with the customers to such an extent that during lunch break, people would turn up with their sandwich and their coffee to watch the show. So where are you going to go and buy your fish? Obviously not the bits that fall on the floor because somebody can catch them, but where are you going to go and buy your fish? You're going to buy it from these guys. And then some enterprising management consultant type turned it into a management training program, which is a very good management training program. So I'm going to give you some street marketing ideas. The third area is lumpy mail, good old-fashioned direct mail. Seeing a resurgence that actually email inboxes are stacked, they're full, but postal boxes are relatively empty. You can get something that can go through the post that is, three-dimensional, lumpy as it's known. People are like, ooh, pen, free pen inside, can't wait to open that. But it can work, and I'm going to give you some real-life case studies of where this works. We've spoken a little about internet marketing, creating a social media buzz, but then also how we can get videos that work very well. And I've got a viral video that I'll share with you before lunch, and another one at the end of the day that have done so well, they've had a massive transformative impact on the sales globally of those businesses. The first one I want to share with you is this flash mob example. Clearly, there's some sophistication and budget behind this and the way it's choreographed, but it had a very clear call to action. Genius, hey? So that was for the launch of a new TV channel in Belgium. Clearly, not only did that create a stir in that small town square in Belgium, but it went viral with a very, very clear call to action. So that was incredibly well put together and done. Here's something a lot more low-tech. Street marketing example. Philip Brown's, they're a gentleman retailers in Norwich. And one Christmas, prior to the sale, they got very creative in terms of how they were going to advertise that there was a sale. So they got a mannequin and they got some empty fizz bottles and some party poppers and they created this window display. And then the best possible thing that could have happened. Somebody complained. How dare they? The standards of decency today. Where's the moral code? So the local press picks this up. Then the local radio pick it up. Then the national press and the national radio pick it up. It went nationwide. So Philip Brown creatively came back with the mannequin and apologetically got the mannequin to clean up the graffiti that it created, still advertising the sale. Did that cost thousands of pounds of an ad spend budget? No. Mannequin that they already had, clothing they already had, a great sense of humour and some creativity, and a few empty bottles of fizz from their office Christmas party, the shop Christmas party. Absolutely brilliant. Here's the result. Footfall went up significantly, sales went up significantly, became a local point of interest. So now Selfridges on Oxford Street in London have got competition because everybody looks forward to the Selfridges window display at Christmas. Well, in Norwich, everybody's thinking, what on earth are Philip Brown going to come up with this year? No pressure, guys. But that's a fantastic example. Here's another one. So my colleague Alan that runs to deliver some of these events for us, he spends a good portion of his time in the US, and this is one of his clients in the US, a florist. The week before, it was Chalk Fest, and all the chalk pavement artists had got together in this particular town. And they got a chalk pavement artist, and they found one, and she agreed for $75 to one Saturday morning for her to draw her own impression of Van Gogh's Sunflowers. So for $75. The result was a 300% increase in footfall and a 200% increase in sales. Became a local point of interest. This, I think, will be absolutely perfect for you. Something like that kind of idea on the street in front of you. Here's another US example. This is a marketing agency in Houston, in Texas. They had clients amongst their midst, including of the caliber of Mini, but they wanted their local marketplace to know that they had clients of the caliber of Mini. So they took one of the styrene models that they use on particular events and particular launch shows, and they stuck it to the side of the building, as you do. And then what happened next? They had a fair idea might happen. Knock, knock, knock at the door, town planning officials. You can't do that. You haven't got planning permission. You can't stick a car on the side of the building like that. Meanwhile, massive interest outside with people taking photographs, etc. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, what happens if we don't take it down? Oh, you'll be fined. And how much will the fine be? Well, that's $500. Okay, so who do we make the check out to? So whilst I'm not encouraging you to blatantly go out there and break planning laws, a healthy dose of creativity and humour can get you noticed for a relatively low cost. Here's another example, Nintendo catching gentlemen as they go about their daily business. Brain teasers anytime, anywhere in the public loos. And here's another one. Be born again, Dr. Kim, plastic surgeon, indicating the way to his consulting rooms. But all examples of street marketing that can grab attention, that will drive traffic or footfall into your physical place of work. So some really, really cool ideas. Here's a more recent one. Sorry about the quality of the image. It was the best I could get offline. But this happened in earlier this summer in Calgary, in Canada. This guy is running a garden centre, and he decided that he wanted to descend into the local rodeo to advertise his garden centre. So he attaches something like 100 and odd helium balloons to a garden chair. He did have a parachute strapped to his back. He's not that mad. Anyway, the balloons got a little bit out of control. He had to bail out and drop to the floor with his parachute. Nobody knows what happened to the garden chair with all the balloons, but he got arrested upon landing for breaking aviation rules. But he got all over the local news and clearly the international news because we picked it up here in the UK, and it was a good advertisement for his garden centre in Calgary.